Welcome everyone to the Dark Life podcast. I kind of feel like I need to address it just a tad. Um, I basically took off Mother's Day weekend. A lot of news came out with me and my family, so I just wanted to spend some time with them, hang out, and just kind of talk, just see what's going on. So yeah, just a lot of stuff just kind of happened, and basically I had to take 2 days off because it was just so much to take in. Um, but yeah, everything's good, and hopefully now we'll be back in the saddle, and feels good to just kind of like just be back. So always look forward to doing these podcasts. Today we're gonna be talking about RP. Might talk a little bit about Yakuza 5. Gonna be looking forward to talking about my artist of the week. Dark doesn't have one for this week, but anyway. Yeah, I don't think there was any gaming news or updates that uh, I had my eye on. I don't know about you though.
Um, Other than that, um, Resident Evil 8 came out in the time
Oh yeah, that's right.
that
Yeah, I forgot
between
about that.
you, yeah, you forgot about that. There's an entire block of time dedicated to me talking about that in your schedule.
Well, it's
Uh,
not a game I really had my eye on, so it's easy to
yeah,
forget.
fair enough. Um, I think that's the I don't well, I might be wrong saying it's the only major game, but it's the only game. Yeah, no, it was probably one of the most probably the biggest game that's come out in that time. I don't think anything else really came out. So he got a 95% positive score on Steam. It's fucking great. That's uh that's unheard. I wonder actually if that's the best rated Resident Evil game. Hold on. Does
I
that
don't
make
know.
it the best Resident Evil game? Why did I never add this to my Resident Evil playlist? Yeah, the remake for the first one is 92 on Steam. 92%. Resident Evil Zero Remake 81. Oh, Resident Evil 2 Remaster was 97%. Okay, never mind. It wasn't even close. 76% for Resident Evil 3. I thought it was worse. Is it really not okay? So I guess the Resident Evil 2 remake is the most popular.
I always heard good
Shit.
things about the remakes, so I'm not too surprised.
Oh yeah, the freaking 2 remake was phenomenal. Yeah, shit, it's up there. Hmm. I think it's weird that the Resident Evil 3 remake has about the same team score. Oh no, it doesn't. I'm getting my numbers mixed up. Anyway, yeah, I think it was just Village that came out. I think that's the only major thing. At least that's the only major thing I cared about. I don't think there's been any updates. Well, actually, I don't know if this is a new update or not. I don't think it is. That apparently Star Wars is doing a Knights of the Old Republic. Like, when EA exclusivity ends in 2023, I think is when EA's exclusivity deal comes to an end, and Disney is not renewing that because EA has done a very lackluster thing with the Star Wars game franchise because they've made I mean they made Squadrons, which was fantastic, but that was pretty a niche game, and they made two Battlefronts, and they made Jedi Fallen Order. Which, to be fair, those are all good games, just not fan. Nothing. Well, I guess Jedi Fallen Order was pretty good, and two was decent. I don't know. It'd just be nice to actually see, more than just one company making the games. So, there's actually diversity in what the games are doing. Because God knows EA is such a diverse thing in the games they make. Anyway, yeah, I can't think of anything that came out. At all. Hmm. I guess that's it for gaming news, isn't it? I keep feeling that there's something I'm not remembering, but at
I
the
kind
same
of feel the
time,
same. It feels like there should be something else, but yeah,
hmm,
nothing comes to mind.
weird.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, trying to think all the stuff that happened on Yakuza 5 for me. It feels like there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, I did finish a full portion of it, and now I'm with a new character, and basically, yeah, I think I basically just completed a main side quest recently. Apparently, Yakuza 5 is, I guess, the inspiration of Red Dead Redemption because there's hunting, so that's a little different. Um, didn't see that one coming. So it's kind of interesting to actually have like little side quests and stuff, and there was like a big story to it, and I did actually thought that was really interesting. There was like a survival aspect to it. Every time when you go out there, you basically take life as the longer you stay out in the cold, and so there's like you kind of have to like get back to civilization, this little town, and yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. So I think
Hmm.
that's really it that I did on my stream. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Other than that,
Nice.
I think that was pretty much it. So unless I could find other stuff that came up, but I think that is it for me.
All right. I guess I'll go then. So I guess we'll start with RP because I can sum that up pretty well. What's happened the last little bit? We finally got the nightclub open. Well, not open. We have it. It's the default, one of the default interiors for the GTA Online nightclubs.
Right.
The Galaxy one to be specific. So we got that, and we're waiting on. We've put in, like, I say the collective we. I mean, the boss has put in stuff for that, but the collective we kind of we put in requests to the devs to have like some customization of it, and that like I think we're gonna have our logo up on it. We're gonna change some of like the coloring, add some props, move some props, stuff like that. And that will probably, we're looking at, that'll all be done and we can officially open the club um, end of the month, beginning of next month is the idea right now, provided no that there's not a shit ton of feet dragging over it, which who even knows. But yeah, um, so yeah, I'm all freaking ready. We're having problems. The bloody Russians, who are, I don't even, I don't even understand why they're even in the area at all, because their territory is down by the docks, which is the exact opposite side of the city. So why the hell they're even lurking around anywhere near us is just like, what? Why? Why are you doing this? Ugh. And they oh god, there was a confrontation between, wasn't even really that of a confrontation. Basically what happened was there's like 12 Russians like up on the roof. And two of our guys came out of the door for the club, and they heard like a shooting or a stabbing or something of a local, I think, or like an NPC. So they drew guns and went to investigate, and they ran into one of the Russians, who was a whiny baby about it, and and then all the other freaking 12 Russians come out off the roof, which it's like, um, there's a rule of like 4 in an active engagement. That was like 12. Unfortunately, no one was recording for that. So, I mean, if anything had it gone down, but it's like, my God, they just. And then we had a meeting to talk about it. Like Antonio put up a meeting. I was there for that one. I didn't stream that, but we did the meeting, and they come in like full force, like bunch of different cars, just fill up the parking lot. Just like there's at least 12 of them, maybe 15. All there, all like, oh, big and intimidating. Just straight up lying to us. It's like they pointed their guns at me. My honor's been hurt. And I'm just like, just thinking that I'm just like, just, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, if your honor's that hurt, man, like, man, you've got a really weak, you got a really fragile ego, dude. You are, wow, so much for being a tough guy. Really just petty is what it was. It's just like, oh my God. And the freaking, ugh, it almost spiraled out of control. No, we were completely talking reasonably and everything to them, and there were so many different opinions coming from those Russians, and they were just, one person would say something, it would rile up another one, and they'd just be like, oh my God, I was expecting shit to go down. And apparently we're not done with them yet, because we just fired a bartender who, I don't know in character, but out of character, uh, I've heard that they may have been a Russian spy. Which is like, what? Why the fuck? Why? What are they trying to do? It makes zero sense. Are they trying to extort a nightclub that isn't even open yet? Like, what? Like, are they trying to get blackmail on us? Because good luck, because there's literally nothing. Anything any of our members have done that's criminal is public knowledge. So, actually, not really many people have done criminal things, but like anything that I know has been done has just been like petty crime that's just like slap on the wrist stuff. And just like, it's just annoying because we had this problem when the House of Cards first was made, where just some random people, we don't even know who they are out of character, who planted weapons and drugs in the place that we were going to make our headquarters, which we've abandoned that idea a long time ago. But man, we never found out who they were. And considering the server had been open for a little less than a month, I mean, it's kind of impossible for any single group to have that kind of resources to even remotely pull off faking like that, which is just like annoying on its own. It's just like no one should have been able to do that. We don't even know who did it. It's like, it's always something. There's just some other group that's just nosing itself into our business, which I guess that's just the theme of the criminal groups in the server. They just don't stick to their guns and kind of some of them. It's uh, it's annoying sometimes, and it just makes no sense. And it's like, come on, stop. We're going to do shit eventually that's going to warrant this, but we haven't done anything yet. We're not even close to being able to start doing that stuff, and we're already having these problems. And it's like, it's not going to stop, which is annoying, but whatever. Let people waste their time on stuff. We'll just keep doing what we're doing. Um, mm. But yeah, well, there'll be more coming up with the when the nightclub's open. We'll all have regular jobs and stuff, like as security for the nightclub. Also, we're attempting to get a contract for the hospital to provide security for there. Which will prove to be a another pretty steady contract because they constantly need people there. Because guess what? I'm pretty sure that them moving it from Pillbox to Zora, to Zora, Zonastra, whatever the Zion, I don't know, starts with the Z, whatever the other hospital is, I'm pretty sure it didn't solve the problems they were having. Because it definitely wasn't Pillbox's location. That was the problem.
Just
Anyway.
a quick question. Is the security, is that like, is it going to be like from the companies themselves that are issuing the security, or is it going to be like a privately run group that's going to run the security?
I mean, we're private security.
Because all of a sudden, when you brought that up, I just instantly thought of Kiki's Bad Bitches. Apparently, they were running security for freaking Burger Shot, and I was like, oh my god, if someone RPs like a group, someone could probably.
Kiki's Bad Bitches.
KBB!
Oh my god.
KBB!
KBB. Oh my god. Yep, that sounds like.
It was.
That's very on brand.
When I heard that, it was like so hilarious how he was RPing that with Kiki. I think they ended up losing out on the security stuff, but there for a while it was just
Oh my god.
The idea that you RP like your own private security group, and it's like, hey, we could get a contract with whoever, the freaking hospital or what have you, and it's like, oh god, that would make great RP.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique opportunity to be in that position because everyone needs security.
Right.
And of course, a lot of people who need security shouldn't need security. There's no shortage of complaints on the forums about criminals who just keep harassing the groups. It's just like, we shouldn't need. It's like, well, solve it in character, get security. It's like, I'm literally running a small business with like 2 employees, and we're constantly getting harassed because we're in a fixed location, and criminals
Right.
can easily find us. We shouldn't need to hire security because it makes no goddamn sense for something like this to even be a thing. It's like, yeah. Yeah. It's just, there's, there's still a lot of things to iron out in this server. A lot of things. Oh my god, I've been fucking oh no, I'm not even gonna go into the economics that make no sense. Ugh. I've been trying to get. They put a house. They finally got real estate up, and I've been trying to get a house. Houses are all the houses I want are expensive, and also the ones I want are also up for auction,
Oof.
which means they go for even more money. Which, since they kind of just nerfed fishing almost into the ground, or at least it's significantly worse than it was. I mean, I could make 5,000 in 2 hours. I'm pretty sure that's down to maybe, if I'm lucky, 2,000 in 2 hours. Which is like fun, because reducing the amount of money you get paid totally stops all the people who have millions of dollars in their bank account because they've already done all the grinding and don't need to do the grinding anymore. And totally doesn't hurt the people who have small amounts of money who need to make that money. Nope. Totally how the economy works is that, yeah. Anyway. Anyway. At some point, maybe tonight, maybe, if there's any goddamn realtors on, I've got my eye on a house. And I'm hoping I can get it for 200,000. Cause that's, well, I guess I could pull a loan. If I did a loan of, oh, actually, if I did a loan, I paid 200,000 up front. I did a loan of 250. That would be 50,000 divided by 4, which would be like 12, 13, call 5. 12,500 every 2 weeks for the mortgage on that. I mean, that's doable. I'd hate myself, but it's doable. I mean, especially because I haven't done fishing, because I haven't really had the need to do it. I've been, trying to do RP instead of grinding. But, well, so yeah, RP's going in. There's stuff happening. There's stuff on the horizon. We're growing as an organization, both the legitimate one and the one that's supposed to be illegitimate, but we really haven't done anything illegitimate yet. A lot of things possibly in the future, maybe, depending on how things go. Unfortunately, a lot of things are just not in our control, which kind of sucks sometimes. But hey, dynamic storytelling, woo. Anyway, guess we could talk about Village now, and I will try and do I guess I should try and do a spoiler-free one, right? Spoiler-free discussion. I'll just talk very vaguely and non-spoilery about it. Resident Evil Village, I have to say, is my favorite Resident Evil game. Period. I love it. I absolutely love it. It has eked out Resident Evil 4. Like 8 has been such a fantastic experience. I loved the mechanics of it, like the meshing of it. The best way to describe it is it's the love child of 7 and 4. Like, it's got all the awesome mechanics of 7 with a lot of a lot of the same sort of like cool things in like 4 with like the whole money system, um, finding treasures and stuff. Like sometimes there'll be like little tiny gems that are in the roof, and you gotta shoot them if you see them to get them down. Or there's treasures that are, yeah, they're worth money, but if you wait until you find the other piece of it and combined it, it's worth even more than both combined. Um, just like things like that, like all the option. I mean, there's no real tough puzzles at all in the game, which is, I mean, Resident Evil's been kind of not had any really. I'm trying to remember the puzzles back in 2. I don't think there was. Hey, super. One One's puzzles were more vague, I guess, maybe. Not so much difficult as they were like not understanding what they were. Um, or at least initially. But like I don't like in freaking Resident Evil 4, there's one semi-difficult puzzle, which isn't really that difficult, and it's completely optional. It's for a treasure. It's the only actual puzzle in the game. And at least, I'm trying to think. There's like a button color puzzle, which is just kind of like not much of a puzzle in 8. Oh, the statue one. The statue one's pretty. The one statue one's pretty Resident Evil kind of, I guess, treasure style. But I mean, nothing super special. I mean, I don't know why people put such an emphasis on the puzzle stuff in RE1 and stuff like that or whatnot. It's more of like, I don't know, kind of more. I mean, yeah, Resident Evil 1 was just backtracky. Was what it was. Really, any of them are. Not so much the newer ones. They're more, you go back through the same areas again. Um, but not to like the extent of like the first game where you like go through the same hallway 20 times. Because you got to keep running back and forth. Oh, I need this puzzle piece. Didn't have that one. Oh, I left that one on the ground. Oh, I left that one in the box. Got to go back and grab it. This one, I can't remember. I don't think there was an inventory system. Well, there wasn't a upper limit inventory system in 7. I don't think there was. No, there wasn't. You just kind of had, or was there? You could put stuff in a box. I'm trying to remember how much you could hold on you in 7. I don't know. I'm forgetting how the inventory worked in 7, but in 8, it's much like the attaché case. In oh, now I'm remembering 7. It was just like with 2 in that, where it's just like individual squares, and sometimes a gun, like sometimes an item would take up 1 square, or would take up 2 squares. In 8, they do the attaché case thing where it's like you got a big case, and you to get like the optimal amount, like you got to do some manual rotating and shifting of stuff to get everything to fit in. Because if you just pick up items and that, your maximum inventory will be like not great. Because it kind of just shoves things in there in their default orientation periodically, and it'll leave like there'll be like 1 gaps all over the place. So you have like 8 1 gaps, which if you moved all your stuff around, that'd be room for like 4 items of like that's 2 wide, which really everything's minimum 2 wide except lockpicks, which are 1. Yeah, you can buy upgrades for that, and the inventory is not a problem until you get a shit ton of guns, and then you're like, man, I can't carry all these guns. But yeah, it was really I loved all the guns. The guns are fun. I love that they had again they kept the Resident Evil 4 the upgrade system where you get money by killing enemies, finding treasures, and you sell them to the merchant in 4. But the merchant this one's the Duke, who apparently is friends with the merchant from the first game. Man, watching me struggle with that with this puzzle. It's a really janky puzzle. I'm like, man, I can't believe it's like that's really janky just to use your thing. If you just take a bullet, shoot it, it works perfectly fine. I did it. If you just shoot that, it works perfectly fine. But if you try and like use your knife and like walk into it, it's really janky as shit. We're just like, oh. I mean, it's doable.
Right.
Boy, howdy. Man, I didn't think shooting it would work so much better. So I was like, I have infinite ammo. Might as well try it. Oh, that worked the first try. And it also just swang around and hit the other one too without any effort. Oh, well, boys, my face red. But so yeah, mechanically, like the combat and that, it's fun, snappy. You got a crafting system in there, which I'm trying to think what other. Was there another Resident Evil game where you collected crafting materials and crafted stuff? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I don't want to say that this was the first one that did it. I mean, I guess, you mixed herbs and that's technically crafting, but I mean like ammunition and, well, obviously meds, ammunition, landmines, pipe bombs, etc., etc. Well, I guess really it's just ammunition, pipe bombs. I said all the individual things. I mean, there's like so many different types of ammunition. And like yeah, I didn't realize this, which would have made this a lot easier when I was grinding out things. Man, on higher difficulties, the enemies drop a lot more money, which would have helped me out in farming up money for upgrading my guns all the way. Cause man, what was standard enemy drops like 150 to 300 on standard, and it's like upwards of 3 to 5,000 on Village of Shadow difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty. Enemies have significantly more health, and you have 2 hits and you're dead, which is basic. Resident Evil highest difficulty is you have 1 free hit. And that's it. Unless it's one of those light attacks that like only takes half your health, but then you're just dead next time someone gives you a full attack. So it's like, yep, can't wait on that. Yeah, I think the enemies are all really cool. I don't take seriously anymore. People are like, oh, the only enemies are bullet spongy. It's like literally since the first Resident Evil game, the enemies have been taking a lot of bullets. They've literally anywhere between 10 and 15 rounds in the first Resident Evil game to kill them. Unless you got really good with tilting up the shotgun, and then you can insta headshot kill zombies. But that's like difficult to do, finicky, and you're kind of, if you miss, well, not only do you waste the shotgun shell, zombie also bites you. This one added a cool feature. They had blocking in the first one, which allows you to like reduce the damage taken from an attack. And if you block and then immediately hit the block button again, you actually knock back the enemy. Like you stagger them back away from you, which is pretty cool. I went the entire game without doing it. Because I didn't really block at all. Because I'm really bad at that. But I'm pretty good at keeping some kind of distance between me and the enemy. So it's like, yeah, it's fine. This is fine. But yeah, enemies are pretty cool. A lot of different. There's different varieties in that. There's not like a crazy amount of like super massive gargantuan ones. Actually, there's only one of those is a boss of one of the areas. Actually, I'd say outside of that one boss, there's 2 gargantuan enemies that are like, holy shit, these guys are really tough. And they are completely optional. They're guarding treasures. So you never even have to fight them. All the individual bosses for I guess maybe light spoilers at this point. Like the main boss fights are all pretty unique in their mechanics and that, and just what you need to do, and like how they attack and things, which is great to when you know it's not just the same boss fight over and over again. One is one of the boss fights is literally just it's really the only part of the game that's an actual horror game is when you're in the one house. And it's like all trippy and shit, and you got to do puzzles and things, and it's like really creepy and atmospheric and that, and it's like that's really the only actual scary part of the game, I guess. I mean, other than enemies just coming out of nowhere and swinging an axe at your head, you're just like, oh shit, fuck, shit. But I'll say that, yeah, I like the enemies. Even when kind of may feel a little like when they add up new enemies like near the end of the game, where they kind of get a little armored up, or it's like kind of like the same enemies but armored, that quickly diverts, because then they I mean, the normal enemies are kind of just like normal thralls with metal on their heads, which take a few extra bullets because you got to shoot that off. But then they add in these new enemies with like specific weak point stuff, like they're like specific weak points that you hit for like critical or like max damage. And then eventually they keep getting more armored, and without playing Mercenaries, I would have thought that, because Mercenaries shows you the damage you do on enemies, which is not entirely proportionate to the Mercenaries. Is like a fun little game mode that's added on, where it's just like survive waves and fight through waves, get to the end, rack up points. I triple S'd everything because I'm a fucking lunatic. There was no reason for me to. I didn't earn anything for it, other than I just triple S'd everything. Which I guess it helped that 5 out of the 8 I triple S'd on my first attempt, and I'm like, well, I might as well do the other 3. Oh my god, the one was so fucking annoying, but man, felt great to finally do it. Yeah, Mercenaries was just which is fun. But yeah, the armored enemies, if you shoot them in the armor, you don't deal any damage. So you have to either shoot them in the fleshy bits that are exposed where the armor isn't, which gets harder and harder to do the further you go into the area and the more armored these special guys have. But they got like a little glowy thing on their chest. But basically, you just it's like fighting Iron Man. You just shoot him in his heart thing. That's actually the best way I could describe it. It's just like just shoot Iron. If you just to kill Iron Man, you just shot him in his arc reactor. Arc reactor. That's the little thing he has for his heart thing or whatnot. Even though it doesn't actually still anyway. I think that sums it up about what those enemies are. But yeah, I loved all the bosses. They were all unique, all their own stuff to them. The storyline, and this is where I'm like, fuck, there are so many spoilers, and I am so glad I did not get spoiled on any of the things that happen in this game. Holy shit, the story was great. I loved it. I also love it too when the games you find documents in that kind of explain the science behind the bioweapons.
Mhm.
That's like this is kind of how the science behind it. And it's kind of like it's a little mumbo jumbo, but at the same time it's like, well, it's I mean, it I say mumbo jumbo, but we're talking about what Las Plagas is like an ancient parasite that's like maybe thousands of years old. Like the T virus, the G virus, the progenitor virus, all those millions of different viruses, the sentient mold from 7 and 8. I mean, it's just really interesting, and oh God, the story was just so good, and the twists and that, I was like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. Like, those are, like, there was one twist that I was like, that I guess anyone who played 7 and then played 8, which play 7 before you play 8, because the events of 7 highly reflect a lot of the subplot or undertones in the game because of the events of 7, because it's the same protagonist in that, and there's similarities to what's going on, and just wow. I looked at that, I'm like, oh my god, you're fucking kidding me. Why didn't I see that before? I was like, oh god, why didn't that ever occur to me? That's what happened in the last game. Like, boy, I don't think anyone ever really thought about some things too hard. Like, there's some mechanics that seem very outlandish, like that's not really realistic. And you're right, they are not. And there's a completely, it's like, well, how's the game gonna bullshit that this stupid thing happened? And then that secret's revealed. That's like, holy shit, that makes sense. That's not actually crazy. Because there's nothing crazy about it happening, knowing what's really going on. Ugh, so hard not to be spoilery. But I will refrain from it. But yeah, just the story was phenomenal. Like, I loved every twist and turn. I loved the areas. I loved exploring. The enemies were fun and engaging. I mean, annoying, but that happens when you get your ass kicked a lot. But yeah, I just give Resident Evil 8 It's my favorite of the Resident Evil games, and I highly recommend it. If you love 4 and 7, I can't see a reason in hell why you would not like 8. It is just phenomenal. Also, a little thing, minor spoilerly, but I'm not going to say exactly what happens, is that it does. There's like a thing going on with certain things, like a certain. Well, I guess it's not really spoilerly. That because you see it in the main like trailer for it, the umbrella logo, or what looks like the umbrella logo. It's like, yeah, that's explained. Like there is like 8 does a massive tie-in with actually the starting with it does lore tie-ins with very direct lore tie-ins with 7. And also even some direct tie-ins with the first game, like the I guess the first game, I guess technically the first story arc, like 1 to 3, I guess you could call it that story arc. Well, I guess 0 1 1, I guess 0 1 2 3, because like 4's kind of on its own sort of thing, and then I guess if you want to mark everything up with Wesker's involvement, you can go up to 5. But anyway, it does some very like I was like, oh shit, I did not expect that to what? Yeah, there's lore tie-ins with it. There's a lot with this game, and it's just great to see. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, shit, there are revelations there that I'm like, wow, that's really cool. But yeah, 8, highly recommend it. Don't get spoiled on it if you want to play it. If you never played 7, I mean, you can. There's only like, I mean, even with that greater lore intro, you don't even really need to have played the previous games to get it if you know the basics. Like the really basics. But like play 7 beforehand because the events of 7 have a huge impact and like again underline of this. But fuck, Resident Evil 8 was just. I think it's funny. Like people meme so much about like Amy Domitresk, and she like the big big lady step, the big step on me lady that everyone the internet fawned over. And like I don't know, I was hopeful for the game. And man, this game just blew me out of the water with everything. It was so much fun. And I have put how much time into it? Which time have I put into it? 44.3 hours. I am almost 100%ed it. I'm going through my hardest difficulty playthrough. I'm about I'd say 2/3, 3/4 done. No, I'd say 2/3 done. My playthrough through the hardest difficulty, and then I got to do a knife only or a melee only thing. They literally have. I'll say this because it's not really. There's a fucking lightsaber. They've got a. It's not a lightsaber, but it's a lightsaber. And also, if you hold the aim button, it's a double-bladed lightsaber. And then she just it's such a crazy I don't know if anyone's I don't think anyone's calculated the um damage numbers uh for them, but it's like the best melee weapon, and it's just like a lightsaber. It's literally just a lightsaber, and it's great. Just like, damn. Damn. That's interesting. So I'm actually curious because there's a lot of I'm just thinking like, oh man, can you even do it? There's a lot of bosses that are be super fucking annoying with just a melee weapon. Obviously, I'm going to run through the game on casual with the melee
I was
only
gonna
because
say.
I'm going to run on the lowest difficulty. Also, there's New Game Plus, so I have all the health unlocks, all the guard unlocks, and I've got enough. I've got like 12 heals in my inventory and the ability to make 35 more. So I think I'm good on the healing front. Um, but yeah, there's just some of the boss fights. I'm like, man, that's really gonna suck. But then I just remembered the first Resident Evil game, which I never did the knife only run. I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't. You had to fight freaking Tyrant with a fucking knife. I mean, you had to use a knife up until you're forced to use the rocket launcher at the end of one to finish off Tyrant. Uh, and then it's just like, yeah, maybe it's not that crazy because you could be a lot more nimble when you're playing, first person than when you're playing fixed camera third person. Well, I guess you wouldn't even call it third person, you just call it fixed camera. Which it's like people are being like, yeah, Resident Evil games aren't that scary. It's like, well, the scariest thing about the first games was how fucking ridiculously hard it was to control things. Like even when you got used to it, you still didn't get used to it. Also, like because they can control where the camera is, they literally can control where the scares are. Like all those times you turn a corner and suddenly your camera is an entire enemy. It scares the shit out of you. Or it's just placed enough where the enemy is just off screen and then slumbers into it, freaking scares the shit out of you. But it's like, yeah, I can I cannot sing the praises of Resident Evil 8 enough. I don't know. Oh, oh no, that's spoilery though. But I'm really looking forward to to yeah, it's kind of spoilery for the end, but it makes me really hype for Resident Evil 9 because this 8 looks like it's it's the finishing of like I guess you could call it the Ethan Winters duology. Um, but it's set up for some really interesting things. I can't say anything that wouldn't be super fucking spoilerly.
Now you know how
God.
I feel with Yakuza's. There's just so much going on. So, yeah, I know how you feel.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just with who's going to be like they pretty much said it at the end of the game, who the next protagonist is going to be of 9, and that is going to be the it's going to be something so different than anything else Resident Evil's ever done. Because I guess I could say this, like Resident Evil, you've just played like either an elite soldier or I guess maybe a cop or just someone with some kind of just badassery. But you basically just been a normal person. In 9, I mean, again, they basically say who the person's going to be you're playing as. You're gonna be basically what I'm thinking it is, based on what happens at the end, you're going to be a bioweapon that fights, that's going to be like a human bioweapon that fights against other uh, uh, kind of more human augmented bioweapons, which would be a very interesting change for it to go away from mindless automatons, I guess, like zombies and the mold people. And well, this one had the lichens, like the werewolves, which they do explain the werewolves. It's more just so, I guess I could say it. There's like they use wolf DNA in the making of them. That's what makes them kind of werewolves. Uh, which I guess really isn't that shocking if you've actually thought about it. How would you make them wolves? And it's a series that's based off of making bioweapons. Oh my god, they put wolf DNA into their infection. Big shocker. That's what the whole franchise is about. It's literally called Bioweapon in Japan, because no one would know what the hell Resident Evil meant. Bioweapon? Biohazard. It's called Biohazard, not Bioweapon. But it could be called Bioweapon. I guess that would kind of be. Yeah, I guess that'd actually be more. Biohazard's a much more accurate title for Resident Evil than Bioweapon. But hey, number 9, which I don't know when we'll get 9. What was the? When did 7 come out? 7 came out in 2017. So 4 years later, we got Village. And with the massive, like, I imagine the sales did great for Village. I don't know specifically, but the reception has been so phenomenal that I could imagine their sales are pretty damn good. And yeah, I think that where it looks like they're going to take Resident Evil next is going to be kind of like a soft reboot of the series, and going to allow them to go in a more like a different, more kind of like unique, like not just tread the same waters as they have before. Because it's only so long you could do zombies, which zombies were really just the 0, 1. Well, even in those, there were bioweapons mixed in with those, like the hunters, or I guess in 0 there were those monkeys. There were those monkeys in 0. Those were annoying to kill. But I'm excited for what they're going to do for the rest of the stuff, because man, if they can just grow on, like, Capcom's been hitting it out of the park with the reboots of Resident Evil, with like 6 basically being like, well, shit, this is the end of Resident Evil, and 7 came out, and then they did the remake of 2, which was phenomenal. They did the remake of 3, which was great, but people made complaints about it. And it's like, people made complaints about that in the first game, the first time it came out. It's like, man, it's a lot slower. Yeah, because you're not backtracking a million times, like in all the other Resident Evil games where you have to backtrack to the same area like 10 times. And then, yeah, people got kind of nervous for like future. It's like, oh no, they buggered 3. Man, they're probably gonna fuck up 8. They did not fuck up 8. And I am hoping they keep on their record. And if they keep going and they keep making the improvements and, you know, doing fun, unique things with it, I think 9 is gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be better than 8, but it's gonna be good. Probably if they play their cards right, it'll probably be as good as 7, which I'd be perfectly fine with. Oh, now I'm just hyped for the next one, because man, the yeah, I, damn, they're hinting at this. I just like the concept. I just love the concept of what they might be going with the franchise. So I'm like, hell yeah. Will they still keep it survival horror? I mean, yeah, that's what it is. Survival horror. Which is good. I mean, you can debate about that, but it's fine. Also, there's a little tiny spoiler. There's a freaking reference to Chris punching a boulder
Yep.
in freaking Thin 8. He gets called a boulder punching asshole. Which is just like, I'm just like, that was just the right amount of fan service right there. It was, I was just like, that was just, it was fan servicey, but in a good way. That was just like,
Mhm.
that was very funny and entertaining. That boulder punching asshole. Just like did he really just say that? That was a great line. Mm. But yeah, that's my long story, short story, long story, very long story, rambling, kind of all over the place review of Resident Evil 8 with trying not to do spoilers, which is hard.
It is. It's really hard. This was the first time to where you played Resident Evil at launch, right? On your new PC.
I played 3. I played the
Was that
remake
at
of
launch?
3. Was that I'm pretty sure I did. I now I'm not too sure. I think it was at launch. Um,
Because I know you have played some of the Resident Evil games, but wasn't sure if this was like the first one it was at launch. I guess I just assumed that they all basically came out and you just were finally able to play them on a beefier machine.
oh yeah, that was it with 2. I think I played 3 basically on release. Um, but at the very I think 3's the only one I could have possibly have played on release,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure I did. Um, so yeah, 3 would have been the first one, but like I guess 8's like the first like new Resident Evil game instead of like a remake that I played. So yeah, fun all the same.
Alright, I guess we'll move on to clips. Already have mine loaded in.
Okay, let's see if I can find mine. Where did I put them? I can't wait to not find my clips. I'm pretty sure I have some. When was this? This one, I played this one on the last. I think these two are. Uh, oh, that's weird. Okay. I copied the title of the clip and not the address of the clip. I was like, that copied weird. Nope, I copied I copied the title, not the address. That's I just look over and I'm like, What the I don't even...
And I just caught a glimpse of it, and I was like, did he just say? Alright.
Oh, Christ. Christ alive.
Right, so just these two. Oops. This one.
Oh, oh shit, I think I found one I meant. I don't think I showed this one off. I think I found one I wanted to show last time. I don't think I did.
I didn't like that with my clips, so I kind of feel
throw it in there.
I kind of feel like the first clip that I'm about to do, I feel like I did it before, but I'm not sure, so... Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. So I'm just gonna play it just for the... shits and giggles.
Damn.
We got 3 for dark. We got 5 here, I think. Anyway, I guess I'll do mine first. So, what I have here is basically, it's Momo's friends, but it's actually, what is it? It's actually Arcadum. He does a bunch of, like, D&D stuff, and so basically, this one was kind of interesting because I kind of followed what was going on, and basically this is supposed to be like a really tough boss fight that Momo and her friends are going through here. They're playing D&D, and Arcadum, he created this one boss, I think it was called Violet Death. And basically, if you die from Violet Death, apparently it's a permadeath, and if you recreate a character, you have no memory of the previous character that you have. Apparently, in his world, if you had a character that died, you could actually have memories from a previous character, and you're able to be essentially reincarnated. But if you die a Violet Death, you end up having zero memory of any previous character. So there's actually a lot at stake going up against this boss. And basically, it was one of those moments to where I laughed, I cried, it was awesome, and I now understand why people do D&D. And this was just funny, so let's just go ahead and play it. This was great.
What? What?
You can stab him.
Oh, or
But-
stab him.
You got the.
With no
Stab
clothing
him
on.
while dancing.
Stab him while dancing and naked, please. I beg you. It's the only. It's
Isaiah
it's
Tech
the
will
only way.
strip down to the nude and walk forward in one fluid motion. He will then begin to gyrate his hips. And he will begin to do the mambo.
I think
In the
Isaiah
Cuban
Tech's gonna get
style.
Violet.
His hips waddle, his penis helicopters. Sweat drips down his back and arms. He will look behind him and wink at everyone watching. The Violet is unaffected by his erotic display.
That's
However,
over there.
However, everyone here gets inspiration.
Yeah! Does he still inspired by the dick?
All right.
Does he still get to stab with his walking over seduce with stab? Is he still very blushes?
Unfortunately, Isaiah Tech has provided all power he
Rabbit
can.
with his PP.
He will
Okay, fair
then
enough.
pose, he'll give you a salute, and then he'll pelvic thrust into the air.
Goodbye, thank you.
It is so weird, but I love it.
So fucking random.
It was random as fuck. Oh my god, that was great. This next one is from Momo. I just really love Baru and Momo's interactions. It is just so glorious at times, and basically. I don't think that's anything else I really need to say. It is just one of the greatest moments I've seen. It's because I slightly remember this. Momo was just basically building her server. She has like a RP server with what was it? I think it was like Conan Exile is what she's doing, and she's just building like her own universe, and the whole time she is just basically just interacting with Baru, and well, this is what happens.
Well, okay, I'll take it slower. Let me know when you get lost. Okay, I'm a viewer.
You lost me.
Okay. I exist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching a stream on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me a viewer in that streamer's channel.
Mm-hmm.
And that streamer is you.
You lost me.
Okay. Okay, how do I do this? Okay, so you go live on Twitch.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's start there. Okay.
You broadcast whatever you broadcast, usually games, what have you. People watch your stream. Okay, so you're with me so far. Now, why would they watch your stream?
You lost me.
Oh my god. The best part is, it just kept going like this. Oh, it was so
I
good.
appreciate the dead old version of the oh god, it's Scar's wife in the second Lion King movie. Her song. That's what's playing. Like,
Yeah,
man,
I think because of
appreciate
DMCA, she's playing like various kind of non-copyrighted music in the background. But anyway.
I am going to draw you a map. A fucking map on how to get from you are a streamer to you have viewers. To you have viewers who then like watching your stream. To then the content on your stream must be enjoyable. Thus, they sub to you. It's from A to B to C to D to E.
So he actually did it. He actually came up with a very dumb idea of actually drawing out a picture. He actually did it. What the fuck are we looking at? Baru actually did this. This is hilarious. Oh god. Oh, I can't hit the button.
Because currently, she is not Tortilla's singing, but there's no audio. Because she refuses to sing in a call. Thus,
The girl who wants to set this flame. It's not my fault. It's not my plan.
it's a big act, and instead of being happy, the panda is now very sad.
Take the fires of hell. Let me mine and mine alone.
Okay. He is now very sad.
Oh my god.
I say I would have a hard time paying attention to with that bang ass cover of freaking Hell's Fire. It's one of my favorite Disney songs. Such a good one.
But anyway, that was what Mom was doing with Baru. It was so great. I just freaking love it so much. Okay, now I think I got one more here. So this next one, it's of, well, the man himself, Silent Sentry doing Ron Otterman. I vaguely remember this. He hates doing Ron Otterman whenever there's a call. He's always in Los Santos, and when he starts off, and he's just going around the streets, just waiting for something to happen. Calls come in. He hates it whenever there's like a call in Blaine County or Paleto Bay. By the time he gets there, it's all said and done. It's like there's no RP to RP out. So. But this was one of those moments to where I'm kind of in the area. I could probably get there. He gets a call, and, well, this is what happens. Turn lemon into lemonade.
What the fuck did you do? You piece of shit! I wanna know what you did, I wanna know right now! What did you do, huh? Where is it? Huh? Are you embezzling money from the register? What's going on, huh? Give it up! The jig is up! The cops are on the way! You're going down for this, you piece of shit! You're going down! Stone cold, huh? Nice poker face, you son of a bitch. I know what you did. You know what? I was up on the hill. Right up there. Filming the whole goddamn thing. Saw it all. All of it. Every blasted bit of it. You're on camera. You're guilty. You're guilty of shit. You're a piece of shit. Worthless piece of shit. Alright, you know what? Give me can I get 2 bottles of water and a pack of Marlboros, please? Thanks.
So he gets a call, there's a robbery, and no one's there. No police, no sign of a robbery, no shootings, no guns. No one's there. It's just him and a clerk, and he turns lemons and makes lemonade. Oh, it's so hilarious. Alright, so we have Dark's first one here, so... I believe this was the one that you accidentally typed the title in the chat.
I accidentally copied the title instead of the link. I meant to go save copy link, not copy.
Alright, so I guess just play it?
Yeah, just play it.
I would
That is absolute. That is absolute disrespectful.
Aye, but Fredo?
Well, that's fairly simple to even out. Freya, do you want this man to play?
I'm gay as fuck. Like, as they come, like, no.
I so blind. I so blind to all women in this circle here.
Mm-hmm.
Do we make ourselves clear?
I might as well be blind. True.
Get out of here. Go. Go. Go.
What,
Go. Leave.
Am I
now.
Oh, okay, Jesus.
Oh no. Oh, we almost got played out.
That's the second fucking time every time.
Yeah, that's Mickey. He's no longer with us anymore. He was quite the character. And freaking Antonio tore a strip off of him because he was making eyes at M, who was his girl. And he tore a strip off of him. And then he ran there. And, well, you know, he didn't get it the first time. So, you know, but I think he got it the second time, which is right now.
Oh! A follow-up.
She said earlier.
But I lost it completely. She works for Antonio, that's all I heard.
Freya, would you like to repeat what you said earlier when we're at the circle?
Go for it.
I like women.
That was worth. That was worth everything.
Oh, and he was jumps off, he almost gets hit by a car.
I don't know, but it's perfect.
How?
Freya, I appreciate you so much.
I blame you for this.
Oh my god, you are great.
How many times do I have to break this man's heart?
As many times as it takes for him to fucking whip into shape. She said earlier.
Oh god, that is great.
I lost it.
I love how she's just standing above him, and it's like just slowly walks away.
He's just like, God. Oh my lord. I don't know if I showed this one before.
Okay.
But it's really funny, so I'll just show it again. This is off of, yeah. I mean, I was just watching the stream when this happened, and it's just funny.
Oh, God.
Oh, he's such a good fighter. Oh,
So strong.
I need to lay down.
How close was I? How close was I? Did I almost get you?
You're pretty close.
I wasn't close at all, was I? You're patronizing me.
No, I'm not. Why are you doing this to me?
Everybody patronizes me.
Yay, I'm a winner. Fireworks. Oh.
Do you want to fight again?
No.
Why not?
Because I hurt and I need to go to debrief and I'm tired and I'm muddy and I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
To hell with it.
Oh my god. I don't think I've seen that one. That one's good. I like it.
Just freaking Silas walks up and freaking puts fireworks down. Like, that is the best use of fireworks I have ever seen in the server. Was right there. Hey, I'm a winner. Fireworks.
Oh man.
Oh. Fuck.
Great stuff.
Great stuff.
And for some reason my stuff always gets thrown off. Oh no.
Wow. That's...
Yeah. It was fine a second ago, and then just all of a sudden, what the hell?
Hi guys, we're up here. We're up here, guys. What are you doing down there? Professional.
Well, I actually really don't know how the hell that happened. That was... Everything should be locked, so I don't know why my scenes are moving when I'm not looking at it, so that is...
Yeah, that's weird.
I didn't have that with my laptop, but now with the new PC, I am noticing that there is a little
weird.
Bit. Yeah.
I don't know what that could be.
Yeah, I don't know either. I notice it every single time when I launch and do, like, a podcast. But it's only the podcast stuff, not anything else. And for some reason that's not playing. What's going on? Sorry, I'm setting up here. Okay, I guess it doesn't. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing Artist of the Week now. Slowly wrap up here. So go ahead and do that. And there. Okay. I think we're good. So the artist I went with for today is a band called Destros. Apparently, this one was kind of interesting. Before they were Destros, they were Destroya, is the name of the band that they were. And then all of a sudden, everything changed. And what I thought was so interesting is basically this band... this is actually the precursor to everything. So I've been listening to a lot of like Japanese pop and rock music, and I did notice there was a theme going on to where they're all female and Japanese rock. And it was something I noticed, but I never really cared to like look into it, answer it. And then I stumbled across this band, and I ended up discovering this is everything that started it all. This band essentially started an entire generation of rockers. So in the 1970s, 1980s, there was new wave British heavy metal. And Motorhead was in there, Iron Maiden, a bunch of other European from England bands that came out of the late 70s, early 80s, and they called it the British New Wave heavy metal. Well, apparently there is a genre essentially going on right now called girls metal band boom in Japan. So, and this band is essentially the pioneer of what started it all. And you're not going to find this band in any kind of type of Hall of Fame. The reason for that is I have a laundry list of essentially, I think I counted 19 different members that was in this band at one point or another. And I'm not going to say what they did, but I'm going to read it off. So this is every band that was, this was every band member they ever had. Risa, Minna, Narumi, Miho, Haruna, Uri, Ko, Mary spelt with an I, Mary spelt with a Y. You also are probably going to notice a lot of these are nicknames, stage names as they're also known. Saki, Akane, Emi, Sati, Amy, Nana, Nene, Hanako, and Marina. Apparently that is every member that was ever in the band, and at one point or another. And what I thought was so interesting, even further upon looking into them, there are so many different bands that spawned from this band. Right now on screen, that from what I know for a fact, there's at least 1, 2, 3 members that I see right now that are all in their own bands, doing their own thing, just from this one music video that I see right here. And so apparently, when they went from Destroya to Destros, apparently they wanted to do like a Guns N' Roses kind of type of thing, be a little bit more feminine, and they wanted to go with, they wanted to add Rose into the title, so that's where Destros came from. I think there was also, Destroyer was like, I think like a Kiss song, if I remember right. So they also, that's like how it all started, and they just blended all of that together. Basically, when they first started, they were just a cover band. They covered Led Zeppelin, previous Artist of the Week, Shoya, Pantera, Metallica, Manowar, amongst others. And so basically, the first one that I noticed is actually the one that you see on screen right now. She was apparently, see if I could find it through all my notes, it's always scattered everywhere. I think she was in I think she's actually now in a band called Mardellas. Apparently she, that was the lead vocalist, her name is Marina. She was in the band at 2011 and was there until 2014. The band itself started in 2005 and kept going until 2015, until they, some people say that they're on hiatus. I don't think they're on hiatus. I think the band is officially broken up, but for some reason, there are still some sites that say that they're on hiatus. I doubt that. You'll see why. So, first of all, so the band just got started, and then already in 2017, excuse me, not 2017, 2007, my bad. In 2007, just 2 years after forming, there was an entire purge. and a bunch, almost the entire band just GTFO'd from Destros, where they officially changed their name from Destroya to Destros, and they started a new band, Mary's Blood. And that was I on vocals, Uri on guitar, KO on bass, and Mary with an I on drums. And apparently there was only one member that stayed, and it's actually the one in the pirate outfit. She's a guitarist. She was the only one that stayed, but everyone else left. Kind of funny because I think I do have Mary's Blood on my list of various artists of the week. And so yeah, the one in the pirate outfit, that is actually Mina. Mina actually does have kind of a full name. I heard it be referred to as Kaicho, I think is her name, but I've also seen it spelt Kaichuo, I think. Kaichuo. But she's apparently part of a band called Fate Gear, which another band that was actually on my list, and she's also known as Captain Minna. So I did, I'm a big pro wrestling fan. There is one particular pro wrestler that actually would get, well, she doesn't get drunk, but she does have like a bottle of rum, and did sing sea shanties when she came to the ring, and I always loved ACT. I always wanted to see it, but I never actually saw it for myself. But when I did hear of Fate Gear, I did thought about ACT and Kairi Hojo in pro wrestling. But yeah, Captain Minna, she's apparently the only one that was in the band from the very beginning. But yeah, she went on to do Fate Gear, and I think she was the only thing that kept Destros essentially going. So, and with her leaving, that's basic. I took it as like she completely left the band and started her own thing. Then I also end up discovering, I discovered this band through Destros, just researching them. Apparently two members, Narumi and Riza, a guitarist, Narumi, Riza, a drummer, they started Disqualia, I think it was the name of the band. So I don't know, there's not a whole lot on them, so I don't know if they've broken up. I did notice there is some few songs on YouTube, so adding them to the list, but I need to see if there's enough to even make a list, if that makes sense. Because it actually is kind of hard to find Destro's music. You pretty much have to actually get their albums in order to even hear the band. And then, of course, what was it? Miho and Haruna. Miho on bass and Haruna on drums. I actually have been prepping to do this band, Love Bites. There's one more band I want to go through first, and then I'm going to do them for Artist of the Week. And it's kind of funny, I had no idea that there was a connection between Destros and Love Bites, so I'm actually kind of glad I came across this information, so that way I could kind of share it with you guys. Kind of like the precursor and all that stuff. But yeah, and she is also the drummer that you do see in the video right now. That is actually her that started Love Bites. And so I'm not going to really talk too much about them, but man, I can't wait to talk about them in the future. But anyway, so yeah, apparently about like 5 bands came from Destros. They have 20 different members, and they only have one album throughout their 10-year career. And the only reason why there was one album is because there was a revolving door. There's not a whole lot of information about this band, and from what I saw on YouTube, they kind of don't even really care about the music itself. Because usually whenever I look up a music video or something, I always see that it's copyrighted. I didn't see any copyright in the title description for distros, so like even YouTube seems to not even acknowledge them. So, I mean, it's kind of weird how some of that is. But yeah, and that's the reason why you're not going to hear of this underdog story of distros. And it's kind of funny how this band essentially started a whole genre. And there are a lot of all-female Japanese rock bands coming out of Japan right now. It's been happening since 2010-ish, and kind of flooding over into 2020 as well. So, and this band was started in 2005, and kept going until 2015 before they finally all broke up. But yeah, so I saw this band, I wanted to share it with you guys. And I really do hope that some people give them a listen, because I thought they were really good. I think the one album that they have like a bunch of like singles and stuff, but the one album that they actually released, I believe, was from 2013. So, even though they've been around for a while, they didn't actually get a full album until 2013, which is, I mean, just kind of shows the revolving door that they essentially had to go through. But yeah, that's distros. I really like them, and hope you guys give them a chance.
Yeah, I thought they were a pretty good listen. I don't know if it was just me, but that first song you put on there, as soon as it started going, I'm like, I could see this as like an anime intro. Prologue, that was the one.
Funny you brought that up, because there is actually a band. I have so many freaking bands. All because of this new genre of music that I just been listening to. I'm like coming across one band after another. Just researching distros, I discovered a new band, Disqualia. So I'm gonna see what they're up to. But yeah, there is actually one band. I even played it to a friend of mine. I'm like, dude, this sounds exactly like an opening to like some anime of some sort. So it's kind of funny.
The only one, yeah.
So it's kind of funny that you brought that up, because I know exactly how you feel about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I'm like, you know what? I would totally use their music as like an anime intro. I know it's a weird way to metric to be like, I liked it in that way. But that's just how I felt about the music. It's like, this is good.
No, that's I completely feel you, because that I don't know what it is. Just maybe from the few animes that I do watch, playing Yakuza, I kind of hear like that Japanese style so much by listening to like the freaking karaoke and Yakuza, just all the music, the OSTs and stuff, and it's like all of that just has slowly just been clicking with me, and now like going through like actual bands and stuff, like I'm almost hearing like a continuation of like what I hear in the video games, the animes, and what have you. So I completely agree with a lot of the music. So yeah, I see what you mean. But yeah, that is Distro. So I think, hold on, I need to see if my thing is gonna fluctuate here. Did it hold? Hey, it did.
What hold?
Finally.
Hey. It actually worked. Totally not scuffed.
So, anything coming up on your channel that you want people to know about?
Nope. I can't think of anything. No, not really.
Okay.
We'll be doing stuff. That's it. That's all I got. We'll be doing things and stuff.
Wow. That was just shut down so fast. Okay. Well, for me, you're going to be getting some more Yakuza 5. I'm actually going to do it after this podcast. Stream will go down, but it'll come back up. Kind of just in the middle of like flipping my sleep schedule and stuff, so that's the whole reason why kind of doing a late stream tonight. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's anything else I could think of that's going to be coming up on the stream, but looking forward to continuing with Seijima's story. I'm really curious, even though that I completed all of the side stories with the hunting, I wonder if I could still do hunting, but I guess I'll find out when I get there. So yeah. And then with that, I think that is the stream. Any last minute comments before we completely wrap up?
No.
Alright.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, for me, it's just been like a slow week. So sadly, that's just how it's just kind of been for me lately. So.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, we'll see you guys on the 29th, and I think that is a podcast. We thank you all for showing up. Hopefully, for those that didn't, we'll hopefully get to see it when it gets uploaded on YouTube, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys on the 29th. Alright, guys, later.
Bye, everyone.